What's Gucci? What's Gucci, guys? I swear to God, it's from the food. It's just dry. The dry mouth syndrome. And I've been drinking. What is this? It's a weird phenomenon. Either way, we're going to be talking about the most introverted types in Socionics. Now, how will we define it? Someone who has more inward focus, doesn't want to really socialize as much with others, is not very outgoing, doesn't want to engage in the group dynamics, kind of person that keeps to themselves. So let's start with the basement dweller. This is the pinnacle of autism. ILI, obviously there's no other winner. If you're an ILI, you can close the video, you won. Misanthropic autist who's just, quite bitter because no one likes him. FE Polar, you meet someone like that and you're like, wow, never again. On the other hand, we have NI base and SE suggestive, makes them focus on their own internal world, neglecting the environment, the physical environment, and the overall external world. So they're just not gonna be as likely to go out and socialize with people unnecessarily. If basement dwelling was a competition, maybe we had Olympics in basement dwelling, I believe ILI would come out on top. One advantage he has is that he has FE suggestive. He has FE suggestive, so he can enjoy being in group dynamics, kind of for someone to open him up like a flower. They kind of do like that. After that, we go IEI. Now, IEI was a bit of a mystery for me for a while because I was like, FE ego, should I put it in or should I not put it in? But generally speaking, Joe Goldberg of Socionics, the only time he's gonna fucking socialize is most likely to stalk you. So not really optimal. NI base, same kind of principle like with ILI, NI base and SE suggestive. The only thing that helps them a bit is FE ego. But from my experience, generally socially anxious type who has aversion to kind of socializing. They prefer their own internal world. It's much more safe. They kind of like to dwell on their own shit. And not literally, obviously. Honestly, I don't know what the fuck to do with EII. I don't really care what to do with EII. So I just put them in fucking basement dwelling Olympics. Because they're introverted and they're fucking intuitive. Double whammy. So they land on top. Now, if you're an EII and you're watching this and maybe you think you should be lower, higher, whatever the fuck ever, let me know down below. Here, I'll probably start with an ESI. That FI base combined with Gamma Quadrant individualism and independence still makes it kind of known, right? They kind of stick to their own thing. They're a very self-reflective type. And generally speaking, in my opinion, they're quite introverted. In my opinion, they're pretty close in introversion. The difference here and the advantage LSI has is that it's FE suggestive. So it is kind of drawn to group dynamics and hierarchies in a way where they can express themselves. So LSI needs someone to open them up like a motherfucking flower, right? After LSI, we're going to pick SLI. I don't know why the fuck SLI didn't really give a shit. After that, I would probably say SEI. Actually, probably the least introverted introvert. Being Alpha SF, being overall Alpha Quadra with positive emotionality of the FE, very sociable people. Take into consideration there are also social nines in Enneagram, making them very sociable, accommodating and friendly types. An SEI SO9 is often mistaken for an ESC. I've done that myself. Some might probably say LIE wins out because they don't have that FE evaluation, their NI ego, which kind of makes things a bit different, right? So if you put LIE first, I wouldn't be mad. I think it could work too. Actually, it could work too. Like this, they're much more pragmatic people. So if they just socialize, kind of why am I supposed to do that exactly? I have work to do, right? I have shit to do. Why am I supposed to talk to you here in a bar, jerk each other off or something? What is this weird thing, gay party? I don't really engage in that shit. I'm an LSC and I'm a Christian. Now I'm gonna put SLE. Now, many would probably say, no, SLE is one of the most extroverted, but actually, not really. They are driven by the external, that's true, obviously, often, mostly 8 cores, it's driven by lust, but lust still needs that stimulation, and socialization can kind of help you to elevate boredom, which is something that this type can struggle with, removing that boredom and kind of getting that little bit of excitement. So socialization can be kind of a gateway from that, right? Now, on the other hand, Also, not the most social people. They're FI polar and they're FE mobilizing with TE demonstrative. They're not going to go around trying to be everyone's friend. In fact, probably maintaining relationships with people is not something that this type really likes. Personally, while I might be bombastic and outgoing, and when I talk to people, I'm clearly an extroverted person, I'm not as social in many other ways. I'm not drawn to creating many relationships in my life or trying to maintain friendships or stuff like that. Like, I just kind of do my own thing and that's it. And then could be worse, we would put EIE and IEE. EIE, while many EIs can be quite a bit withdrawn, in my opinion, they have their moments of that withdrawn nature, being NI ego. They're still FE base, FE dom and MBTI, FE dom and Jung. So still very much attention whoring and wanting to get that input from people. They live for people. That's the reality of the situation. EIEs live for people. They're an interpersonal type. So affecting the emotional atmosphere, being in the middle, getting attention, impacting it, changing moods of other people's, affecting their moods. That's what people think Essex 4 EIE is. They're just describing an Essex 7 IE. Like, if an absolute random, chaotic degenerate who doesn't care is like, that's not an EIE. Like, people forget EIE is a rational type. They're more cerebral, like people seem to fucking think an EIE is just a fucking monkey. It's not. And hopefully we will change the perception of EIEs, because funnily enough, I also bought into it. At some stage, I used to think genuinely EIE is a fucking monkey who's gonna do anything to get attention, to provoke and kind of get, playing into the stereotypes of EIE. But that's not the case. They're rational types. And once you understand that they're the pinnacle of social too, then you realize, whoa, they're not just spurgs who fucking want to be degens doing random shit. They can be quite rigid. They can be quite strict in many ways as rational types. So it will help you get a better understanding of EIEs, because we fucked EIEs up in the community. Let's face it. I've done it. Many others have done it. So it's time to fix it. Now, calm down, bro. Obviously, SCE being one of the most externally focused types, it's an ethical type. It has FI, ego, FE demonstrative. So interactions with people come so easily to this type. They enjoy it. They love it. The politician, right? It makes perfect sense for an SCE. And then fucking ESC. Bakes cakes for everyone. Wants to fucking socialize with everything that fucking moves. Now, if SCE wants to fuck everything that moves, ESC wants to talk to everything that moves. This is it. If you guys disagree with some of those placements, let me know down below. As usual, I'm a bounce. Ciao.